evening and welcome to Wargaming.net League North America World of Tanks. It is week 2, day number 4, as we have seen some action-packed battles between the best teams in North America. And as we move into tonight, we're going to see some heavy hitters along with some people that are on the fence to determine if they're actually going to make it to the finals in Las Vegas. I'm Joshua Clutch Gray. Joining me on the set, I have Andre Gritorp Hengshua, my co-pilot for tonight, and one of the greatest mathematicians when it comes to esports and World of Tanks.
You are way too nice. I do love math, though, and that's probably my favorite part of World of Tanks, the amount of math that you have to really utilize. I mean, you don't absolutely need it to be super successful, but it definitely helps.
It does help. It does help to understand the game. And to help us understand the game even better, we have a resident expert, former member of SIMP. It is Randall Rookhill-Holcomb.
Howdy, guys, and howdy, everyone out there watching. I hope we have a fun night.
I think we will. We have some great matches tonight. Also, this day in history, quickly.
You're taking it.
I'm going to take it.
No,
I'm going to take it because in 1861, on today's date, July 21st, it was the Battle of Bull Run, the first major land battle for the United States Civil War.
That's right. That's when, you've seen it before on television where a lot of bulls chase people. That's where it comes from.
I don't know if that's historically accurate.
I may not be able to confirm that.
You're going to the wrong Google links. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the backtrack of last night of some of the best matches that happened. Let's go to it right now.
Valkyrie Vuas going to be poking out in the back. In the meantime, a lot of trades going on. Scringly going to be taken out by Friction.
It's an even game right now. Valkyrie Vuas in a very dangerous position. Does get one final shot off. Can Friction get the killing blow? 1390. Dodges a shot and then misses a shot. Meanwhile, Anubis with full health is going to come along with World War II fanatic. Oh my goodness, Refuse to Die is going to get the better of this exchange with Fulcrum. Nagatron goes down as well. That's 17 tier points for Fulcrum to the 24 of Refuse to Die. Royal's got to run away. Valkyrie Vuas is still alive somehow. And wow, suddenly Fulcrum down to just 9 tier points.
Reminds me Eldo escape earlier. Well, that window does not exist for Vect, as he's going to go down to 36 health, and he is reloaded, but Singh is going to take him out.
Yep, and the last stand will be made by Gomes. He's gotten several good shots off and does pick up a kill and could theoretically take out Singh as well. And if he does that, if Gomes kills Singh, it's a 7-point lead on that side of the map. It's a bit of a standoff. Singh needs to hit Gomes twice, and if he shoots, he's going to get rushed on. And I kind of feel like Gomes could just push on Singh. Of course, he risks getting tracked in that case.
Oh, but Khalees has returned to base, so it is only a matter of time for Dead Meat.
Gomes misses. And the second shot is never taken as Invade from downtown manages to pick up the kill. And we see the capture being initiated by Scurry Hard as well.
Yeah, and if we jump to my screen, we see Rylak and Bao Bao face-hugging each other, and we actually, if we take a close look at where the penetrations are, Rylak has been shot once in where it should hit his ammo rack. A second time, not quite hitting where his ammo rack is, but both of these guys expertly displaying high level of skill, knowing how to shoot each other in the IS-3. This is a fantastic job. I wish I could see there's an ammo rack right there, but he does burn his kit on it. Bao Bao, though, is going to be distracted here as Blasi.
Oh, Blasi, the battle buddy, saves the day. And
welcome back. First off, gentlemen, I want to talk about Fulcrum. Now, this is the highest seeded team moving in. They're currently undefeated. But Ruinberg is really not a great map for them, and Brawl's really not a great map for them. That's what we saw in that first clip. Is this the kryptonite for this team, or is it just nerves moving in? I think this
neither.
Neither. You say neither.
Neither.
They are the most experienced team moving into this
They
tournament.
are the most experienced, and they did not care, in my opinion. They just did not care. They were basically going into it saying, we know we're a better team. We're just going to do a couple brawls here and there. They did moves that theoretically do not make a lot of sense unless you're very, very, I want to almost say cocky, right? You have to be cocky to go try to cap South Ruinberg. Like, you just do not do that. And of course you're going to be punished for that. Even, it doesn't really matter what team you are. You're going to get punished for that. And what who did they play? Refuse to Die. What Refuse to Die did was they were able to actually see what was going on very, very fast. They identified what they were doing, and they moved accordingly. But when it comes down to it, you have 2-3 more lanes of fire on. I'm blanking now. You have Ruinberg? 2 or 3 more lanes of fire on Ruinberg than your opponents. You're always going to have that advantage.
Well, also, seeing the pattern of Fulcrum Gaming, when they do go down a map, which is rare, but it has happened a number of matches, they'll either choose airfield or mines. And I feel these are the two maps that they feel the most comfortable on.
Sure.
And the type of engagements that we've seen on airfield from this team, they don't wait for the grinder. They don't wait for the grinder root kills you bring up. They just smash right through.
Yeah. And it's theoretically correct against a lot of these teams that are playing super conventional, super passive. You try to develop your pieces on the board as fast as possible and take as much map control as possible. A lot of that positioning, a lot of that the lanes and of course the space, which is so freaking important. It's the same rule in chess. You want to get your units into the middle of the map as fast as possible. That way you can cover more squares in the map, and all of a sudden your opponents can't move nearly as much.
Now we're going to see Wreak Havoc up against Simplistic tonight. They're going to be our second match. Briefly want to talk about them. They're up 3-1. Simplistic is down 1-3. Wreak Havoc had a big win yesterday against EC. EC is way behind right now. They have a higher ladder to climb, and we're going to see that a lot tonight with some of these teams and some of their records. Every match matters. Every battle matters right now. And as we move into the end of week number 2, we're starting to see the story develop of who's actually going to make it to Vegas.
Yeah. We'll get on EC in a little bit, but Wreak Havoc definitely showing some really nice conventional play. They've been changing it up here and there. Cannot fault them at all. They've been playing great. Simplistic, definitely one of those teams that, in my opinion, I'm a big favorite of them. Obviously, they came through the qualifier, so I have a lot more games casted of them than most other teams. But unfortunately, they're dogging it right now, and they need to catch up. They're in a must-win situation at this point because, hey, if you take another loss, you're 4 losses out of 7 battles or 7 matches. It's going to be very difficult to be top 8 overall.
That's very true. Let's go ahead and take a look at the match list for tonight. We have MOPP4 versus Cunninghams. Then we have Wreak Havoc versus Simplistic. Simple Tankers versus River of Blood. Simp versus Nerve. And Strike versus EC. Simp versus Nerve. Both these teams 4-0. This is the heavyweight division. This is the title fight for tonight.
Titans have to clash. We have 4 undefeated teams so far. It is, of course, Simp and Nerve, and we also have Scurry Hard and Fulcrum in the other division. But this is the battle of the Titans right now for this particular division. That's why it's really, really exciting. I'm looking forward to this. I want to say Simp is going to take it. I want to say that, but based on how Nerve has been playing, my God, it's going to be a tough, tall order for them. My money probably goes 55-45 in favor of Nerve. And I know Mac G is going to kill me for it, but it's okay. He's going to die really fast anyway.
That's what he usually does in the T1 Cunningham, as we have seen. We see a pattern, Mac G, but he still fulfills that role. It's very, very important. All right, real quickly on the rule format, how it works, guys. 7x42, if you're unfamiliar with the world of esports and world of tanks. 7 people on the battlefield. 42 tier points is the max amount of tier points you can have on your team. 8 being the highest tier points for that tank. We have a lot of people in chat that like to ask those questions because they're learning more and more about esports and world of tanks. So go ahead and interact with people in chat because a lot of people are really ready and willing. Some of the pros are watching too to answer those type of questions. So it's different than the public games, but it is still a lot of fun to play the public games as well. And you'll actually learn a lot of good tactics to use with these different tanks, either in the games themselves or in the different segments that we air tonight.
That's right. Anyway, we have the face-off ready for the first match. Let's go ahead and get into it, as it is MOPP4 versus Cunninghams. Of course, Conflict, our buddy over there, who's been, I want to say again, thank you for all your help throughout the beginning of WGLNA. And of course, A. Martin from the Cunninghams, a very consistent performer, and also we get to see your beautiful face on camera yet again. Handsome.
Both handsome. Well, again, gentlemen, thanks for joining us. My first questions are going to go to MOPP4. Conflict. You guys have a harder road right now. You're 1-3. I have been told that you're feeling very confident coming into this match, so you're confident as a team. Can you please relay that confidence and how you feel to everyone watching?
I've always feel confident. That's just my personality. So I think we're feeling good. The guys on today seem to be really good, really confident. We have some negative voices that aren't on today. So probably making some changes here with the upcoming switcheroo coming up here today and tomorrow. So I think we'll do pretty good today. That's the hope anyway.
Do you feel that you were prepared for these team changes? Because with any team in any league, you don't really know yourselves as a team until you're tested, really, in the refiner's fires we've seen in this league. Were you prepared to make those changes? Did you have backup plans? I mean, you have a roster of 10. Or was it a big surprise to you?
Not so much. We're going to have probably 2 changes. One has been planned since the beginning, basically. The other one, a little bit of a surprise, but I had backups already that I've been talking to since before this. So it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. We still have our core 7, so we're okay.
And finally, what words do you have for your opponents, the Cunninghams, for tonight?
Martin, I told you it's all about the autoloaders, man.
All right, Martin.
You saw what happened when we ran 4.
Oh, and they have ran 4 before. All those
That's
AMX
no way.
5100s.
Not
I want to
well.
ask you about that, Martin. We've seen your team use a lot of the AMX 5100s. Is that a trademark now of your team? Is that a surprise you like to use against your opponents? Or is it more of a, hey, let's just try this and find out what it does?
One of the nights when we were running 4, that was kind of a try this, find out how it does. We were short a couple of guys we normally run, so we were just, trying to get lucky, But no, it's not really a trademark. It really depends.
So YOLO swag.
Yellow swag
That's
is a
what it is.
trademark for them. What would you say is a trademark of your team? Your play style, your attitude that you have amongst each other. What is it that you feel is a strength that you have as the Cunninghams?
We tend to be pretty good at, not getting too down on each other. There's no real negative Nancy's or whatever the expression is. So
It's my term, negative Nancy's.
yeah, it really helps. Because I know my major league team had 1 or 2 of those, and we missed a lot of matches for Clan Wars, so it got to be a pretty nasty vibe.
Sounds like both the teams are separating the chaff from the wheat. So finally, hey, Martin, I want to ask you, do you have any words for conflict in MOPP4?
Not really, besides you're not going to see that many autos from us. Get ready for the IS-3s. And also for you guys, it's Beguk, like the chicken.
Beguk. Thanks.
Yeah,
We've been
Beguk.
asking about that. So how to pronounce his name?
Are you
Beguk.
sure?
Great.
That might be the G silent though.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Or maybe the U silent. It's
No, I'm going to call him Beguk from now on.
Also
Thanks,
talk
Martin.
us as
Okay,
high,
MOPP4, you're the higher seed, so you will have the toss or the call for the coin toss. So is it heads or tails?
Tails, please.
Tails. Let's go ahead and toss the coin.
it never fails.
Oh, it's heads.
Except today.
Which means, a Martin, you have the choice of map pick or defer.
Defer.
He's going to defer. What is your map of
Defer.
choice? Conflict.
Mines.
Be on mines, and Cunningham's your position.
South.
South. All right. The map will be mines, and Cunningham's will take the south position. Best of luck to you, gentlemen. Here we go, Greetorp. Go ahead and name off the tank selection we have for these two teams.
All right, well, we got an AMX 5100, 2 T69s, and 2 AMX 1390s. Very mobile out for the Cunninghams. Over on the other side, an AMX 5100, T32, 2 T69s, and an AMX 1390. Now, with those 2 AMX 1390s from Cunningham, they're going to be able to get up and really maintain control of this portion of the map. The middle, the hill is just such an important place on this map. That's the island over there. I don't want to confuse you guys.
Yeah, and Conflict's pushing really south from that northern position, and he has been spotted, but no direct contact or fire has happened from Silent Demise in that 1390 perched just above him. He knows he's there, but no shots will be able to land between the two. However, if one of the Cunninghams decides to forsake the position they have on the main section of the map and sweep around to the islands, whoa, there goes one of the T1s already. Talid in the AMX 5100 takes down one of the scouts on the side of Cunningham. So as I was saying, if they sweep down and try to get some fire against them, it could leave one of the middle sides of the map vulnerable for MOPP4 to push in.
Sorry, it's pretty difficult for Silent Demise really to be attacking Conflict. Main reason we talk about this is because, well, the AMX 1390 has terrible gun depression clutch. So shooting down like that, it's going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely not an emo gun whatsoever. Sorry for the pun. But we also see some scouting, some detection a little bit in the center of the map between the Cunninghams and MOPP4. We see multiple T69s, 2 of them at least, and a T32.
Ooh, Commander J
just
from the mid
inside.
is putting out shots on Conflict right now. Not making any connections, unluckily, but there's one.
Ooh, nice.
Yes,
That's what he
fantastic
needed.
shot.
That's what he needed. Now Silent Demise, if he chooses, can push in. It will be a bit of an uphill struggle, but because of the HP difference, 1,100 versus 837.
Ooh, but T32 is going
advantage.
to approach here. There's no contest for that T32 to walk up there. There should have been a couple of shots realistically on that T32. At least one shot, I think, that should have been penned. But now, I mean, realistically, the team that had all the momentum, all of the speed in the beginning phases, has now lost an incredible amount of position and space just because they weren't paying attention to deny that push.
Yeah, a huge problem there was that the Cunninghams did not have T-69s in position to fire.
That's right,
And
yeah.
actually now Trireme, who would have been in position, is taking fire as he was spotted, leaving his bush position in the back of the base. It looks like we're going to see MOPP4 take the hill as Pope Shizzle does get up there in his T-69.
And Conflict and Silent Demise are actually going back and forth here. Conflict now has the HP advantage. 614 versus 595, but now he's going back to the water.
Yeah, but Commander J is coming in to help him out, and it looks like his approach should be sufficient to get there unspotted, but he is destroying some cover that may indicate to Conflict that someone's incoming. Shots should come out here in a moment. I expect to see someone go down here. I'd give it to the Cunninghams right now to win this fight.
Well, Commander J is trying to end this conflict in a very silent demise.
I see what you did there. Nice work, Andre. Silent Demise still holding on behind those rocks. Commander J barely get a poke out of the rocks itself. Conflict still being detected by Silent Demise, but with the full advancement, if they do decide to pounce on Conflict, they will leave themselves vulnerable to that northern section where one of the heavies, the 5100, I believe, for the red team, is positioned to strike against those 1390s.
Right. A way you can actually deal with this is have Taka and Militant be a little bit aggressive, not really show out too much, but at least get the guns pointing towards them. And then all of a sudden, while you're doing that, the AMX 1390s can go and pounce on Conflict, who is right now out of position, has very little cover, only from, realistically, the lighthouse. I've been saying realistically a lot.
Well, he does have some cover from the hill. It's very risky for the Cunninghams to actually engage. If they were to engage on Conflict in a position where they would be safe from any hill fire, they would take fire from the 5100. And if they were to be safe from the 5100, they would take fire from the hill. That's the kind of fight we're going to see here in a minute. That's why it's just so very risky as Commander J does get revealed and takes 2 huge hits on his way. They're going to engage right here on Silent on Conflict.
And you can see Taka in the center is also pushing up here, trying to just stop that from happening. But here we go. It's all going to really matter with this. Talad is going to put out a couple shots with that 5100, just as you predicted. And guess what? Conflict is still going to be alive. So really nice bait so far. And also, let's keep in mind that this is a lot of trade and hit points on the AMX 1390s. Now, you really do not want your AMX 1390s to be damaged whatsoever if you're going to trade out in this early stage.
That is true. A. Martin's in some trouble. He is surrounded. He does get killed by Nemesis 79, the other T1. They have shut down all the eyes, the scouting eyes, that were far into enemy position now. And MOPP4 has not lost any tanks so far. They do have scouts spotted in the center. Those 2 T-69s, and they also see Commander J and Silent Demise, but now moving in is Talon taking down Conflict, took down Silent Demise in the 1390. Now Commander J is on the run, and Pope Shizzle from far away in the T-69 gets the kill all the way across. Great push in by MOPP4, and they currently have an 8 tier point advantage.
There's going to be a couple shells being shot out from the island pretty soon here as Taka is going to be moving back. He's in reverse against this T-32, just trying to keep the main part of his armor in front. But let's be honest, now that the Cunninghams have lost both the island and the hill, there is no retreat at all. There's always going to be crossfire wherever you move out on this map.
Yeah, and now the Cunninghams are going to go into their last final refuge, which is the corridor on the east here. They are going to be a little bit safe, and it is going to be tough if MOPP4 makes a mistake and pushes in, not from the hill. They have that advantage, but they're not going to need it, as they're just going to destroy Militant here.
Pope Shizzle gets a shot in the back, trying to get the one with the lower HP, even though Taka and his battle buddy are trying to share HP. You see, it's a great battle tactic to have, but when you're surrounded by so many tanks, it doesn't matter. Talad gets the final kill against one of the last tanks, only one left alive for me. The T1 trying to get some shots against the 5100, totally scouted. And now the surround.
Go Nemesis! Go Nemesis!
Oh!
Yes.
Does he get the kill? Nice job by Nemesis in the T1. Great win by MOPP4.
I do want to say that MOPP4 had a fantastic just line in the opening phases.
They did.
They had a really clear goal. They knew exactly how they wanted to take the hill. And I want to see if we can see that same level of, I guess, of execution and planning.
Let's go ahead and talk about the tanks on the side of the Cunninghams. We have AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, as T-69 and 2 T1 Cunninghams. The side of MOPP4 favoring higher, one more autoloader here, the AMX 5100, 1 IS-3 and 1 T-69 along with 2 T1s. Kind of funny what A. Martin said, we're going to see less autoloaders here from Cunninghams, and so far that's what we see on this map on Ensk. Into the northern position, we have MOPP4, taking the C1 section area, and then we have a wider spread from Cunninghams. Rookil, your thoughts on the map placement?
Now, I like MOPP4's placement. It indicates to me that they intend to make some kind of push in a minute or two, whereas the Cunninghams are very, very far back. They've given up a large portion of the map, which makes me think that the Cunninghams are expecting a push out of MOPP4. So MOPP4 could be walking into some kind of a trap here, although A. Martin is moving up a little bit in his T1, looking like he wants to proxy spot the F line, which is generally what we'd say is the middle line of the map. So with him trying to proxy spot, that says maybe the Cunninghams do want to push up, but that they're very wary of fighting early on, especially because they do not have autoloader advantage.
Wouldn't you say, though, that, oh, nice
no.
shot by Silent Demise, killing that T1 all the way in the back corner. But wouldn't you say pushing up actually gives you a much better defensive capabilities than sitting where they are right now?
I would definitely agree with that. The middle, the F line, if you are in the south, is a great spot to get into.
I love that line.
Yeah.
All I play is this map. I love the F line.
I've seen it so many times. Yeah, there's a lot more flexibility, I find, in the F line, and you do take more control of the map, which means your enemies can't take that, and then they can't really outmaneuver you so easily.
Sure, and even if you want to sit back like this, taking the F line just to show that, hey, I could be up here, guys, don't push out that far, and then backing up all the way, I think that's going to be a much better line. Just to say, okay, you guys can't just push up willy-nilly and obviously
I
get
completely
into
agree.
the best situation. So as it stands right now, we do have a little bit of a group up over here.
Yep, Cunninghams are grouping up at
Yeah.
the H line between 3 and 4. Now they are keeping one of the T1s all the way on the 0 line. You know, Rookil was talking about trying to defend against a push. MOPP4 can push almost, well, you would say east or west, and we've seen in some of the other matches, some of the other battles, that some teams like to push down the railroad side. But now Cunningham's going to cut their way between the 3 and 4 line here on the western side of Ensk, and they will close the map difference between these two teams, inching closer and closer. Now, they're not sending the T1 on the 0 line, and I would figure that if they don't spot anything halfway through, at least on the F line, that they would send that T1 up to see if anyone is pushing from the eastern side on the side of MOPP4.
Yeah, MOPP4, I think the T1s on the east side just don't want to engage. They don't want to lose those eyes, and MOPP4 right now, having lost that T1, are in a position where they aren't as confident with their T1s. If they lose another one, that gives Cunningham's T1 advantage, which means also cap pressure.
Yeah.
And as we've seen so many times before, that T1 advantage can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Yep.
So there's tons of pressure on Bachrocker right now to perform in a T1 fight if it does come.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Coach.
go ahead, Greetor.
I was thinking, you know, if I am in the Cunningham's position, I'm going to do a huge east push. I know that sounds crazy, but, you know, just looking at the lineup, yes, my opponents could have gone east, but most likely, you know, the more defensive position is to take the west side.
Ooh, Conflict is spotted along with Silent Demise. It looks like we could see some trading here, but Conflict is a better shot, and he does pen Silent.
Yeah, hey, Martin trying to move up there, and now getting into the higher side between those windows, we have the other IS-3, but he has been spotted, so he's going to back off. Conflict holding his ground between the window. That keyhole has proved to be a valuable asset to any tank in a hold-down position, especially when they can land those first shots. And the IS-3 is having great alpha strike damage, are performing exactly how they should be, except running into walls right now, Conflict, on this map. Great timing, Conflict. Thank you very much.
Oh, he's just playing around. He's trying to get a perfect angle there in his IS-3. Ooh, Silent Demise and Militant are going to back out. As we see in the east, the 5100s, Taco Commander J and Kong are going to move up for a kind of flank. Bachrocker is spotted here.
Okay, and they're not going to commit a shot to him. Oh, yes, they are.
Going to take down the one
Just
T1.
kidding, guys.
That exposes Commander J to Conflict in the IS-3, but Taka is in a great position to stop that movement from Conflict for trying to get around and flank Commander J. Now Commander J is in a great position to move in and get the side flank on Conflict. Conflict is pointing his turret, but misses. That's a big miss for Commander J in the AMX 5100. You have 100 HP that you can dish out in those 6 shots, but you need every shot to take down those IS-3s. Sometimes you can kill them in 5 shots, but you want all 6 and another miss from Commander J.
Yeah, guys, but on the other side of the map, there is another fight happening. It's a 4-on-2. Militant versus Stagnate, Pope, Check, and Talid, and it looks like Silent Demise is going to pull out of this fight knowing that it's hopeless.
Check Monster's taking a lot of damage, though. 235. Stagnate himself getting hit. Pope Shizzle lowering the HP of Silent Demise. Silent Demise now on the run, gets another hit against Pope Shizzle. 610 against 553. He turns the corner just in time for him not to get hit again.
This is now 4v4 of the tier 8s, and I'd give this to the Cunninghams right now. They do have more health, and Pope Shizzle along with Stagnate are very, very low. Oh, Check Monster is about 230 something right now.
Cunningham's putting up the flag pressure. This is what they need in this moment. Now MOPP4 going to counter that pressure by going to the flag cap of Cunninghams. They're going to draw a line in the sand on Ents, and they're going to say, come at me, bro, as they try to position themselves into that K line in some great hold-down positions if possible. But one of the 100s is going to commit to the flag to start that capture, and it's going to be one-on-one right now, which means that MOPP4 will be behind. They need to have 2 to 3. Oh, King Kong gets the kill, and Commander J gets the kill, mopping up the rest of MOPP4 with 2 Tier 8 tanks left alive here compared to the 4 of Cunninghams.
Taka probably is going to take the way now with 1,400 HP. He can actually soak up a lot of damage in the initial phase. A little bit of, ooh, nice shot by Talad, but a little bit of reverse angling coming out from Talad. That's something you don't normally see every day with an AMX 5100. Of course, you can bounce shells, but it's rather difficult.
Commander J launching those shots against Talad. All Cunninghams have to do is hold. They are ahead in tier points, and they have 33 seconds left to capture. Taka taking down Talad right after Talad took down Commander J. Pope Shizzle. 29 HP, he goes down, silent demise. Takes down Pope Shizzle, and that's going to be a victory for Cunninghams in battle number 2 on Ensk. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, battle number 3 after this. To the northern position, we have the Cunninghams in the blue. And to the south, we got MOPP4. Tank selection, what's going on?
Well, you see these numbers, guys? This is the tier points. There's blackness, darkness.
Looks like somebody didn't read it up in time. They have 3 minutes to ready up.
That's right. 2 AMX 5100s probably should have been, well, we'll never know. 2 AMX 5100s, 1 IS-3, 1 T-69 on the side of MOPP4. On the other side, we have 2 AMX 5100s, 3 IS-3s, and 2 T-1s, an 8-point advantage already for the Cunninghams.
That is unfortunate, but how our rules are, you have 3 minutes to decide what tanks you want, and when that 3 minutes is up, we start the game, ready or not. 8 minutes, 52 seconds on the clock, just getting started here. 2 T1s spotting each other, one in the courtyard, one just around the corner in the approach of the tank alley section, or the banana as some call it, and the G line. But Bagook, the sound of a chicken, I guess, hey Martin told us, is scouting that one area, but MOPP4 now pushing up the hill. Every single one of their tanks besides 2 has committed to the hill. They're going to see the 1 T1, and he's going to go down Talad with the first blood. Taking down A. Martin.
And they're still going forward. That's very surprising to me. You can see that the 1 AMX 5100 by Commander J, he's going to retreat after seeing a lot of tier 8s up on that hill. And normally whenever this happens, there's a trigger to the west side or even down Tank Alley. I feel like Tank Alley is a lot safer since no shots on top of that hill can really shoot down over there. So we're going to see Nemesis being taken out, I'm sure, momentarily.
Yep, Militant is pushing up.
Yes, sir.
Cunningham's Cunningham's going down the 3 line too to get the surround on the G line. They're going to clean up any of those tanks they're going to find, which is going to be the 2 T1s, Nemesis and Conflict are going to go down. Militant lining up the shot. There's nowhere to run, T1. As he gets exploded, Silent Demise takes the other one down. Conflict is out. Now MOPP4 fully committing now to going down the hill. Going to be turning this corner. They may do some cap pressure.
And I like this King Kong going all the way back. I would actually, I'm not too crazy about this. I would have liked Commander J to go back instead. Commander J in his AMX 5100, just to deny potential fast caps. But it looks like the Cunninghams will start things out, and King Kong is going to see a lot of these tanks go across. No Pants will take 1 shot from that IS-3. 400 damage being taken out. Actually, 389. Excuse me, guys.
So how many members of MOPP4 are there in the north right now?
It is 3, all 4 of them.
All 4? No one's going to be able to come back to stop the cap.
Nope.
Captain No Pants is coming back.
He's trying to get there as fast as he can, but they're going to get a great flank against him as he goes down Tank Alley from the rear. IS-3 is going to hit him. Captain No Pants is on the run to try to stop it. Red base is under attack. 6 seconds left on the clock for the Cunninghams to capture the red base. Captain No Pants is not going to make it in time, and that is going to be a victory for the Cunninghams.
It
Will
might be
no, it might be a draw.
It's a draw.
It's a draw between the two teams.
Oh my goodness.
You do have that window to capture between the number of seconds. It's completely cut out the lights. It was so crazy. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have to churn the generators because that was intense. We'll be right back after this.
Man, baby.
Welcome to Prokhorovka, the map that every time we say it, Soviet shakes his head. Kritor, what do we have for tank selection?
AMX 5100, 2 T69s, and 2 AMX 1390s over on the Cunninghams. Guess what? Full auto loader lineup. 2 T69s, 2 AMX 1390s, and my favorite of all time tanks. Not really. The WZ-132.
It's actually one of the tanks that I look forward to doing more and more research on and playing myself. Is the WZ-132. History lesson for you history buffs. The first tank to be fully produced in China was the WZ-132. And we're seeing some pushing down to the south in the Cunninghams. Rookhill. They are not taking the west side whatsoever. They're all in the east.
Yeah, this is a very cool east side strat here. They're going to send Commander J and Silent Demise off to the hill, and they'll get a great high ground position. Now, Taka, Militant, and Trireme will be left a little bit lower down with their slightly beefier tanks. Oh, there goes A. Martin, a big loss there on eyes for the Cunninghams. Commander J and Silent Demise are getting fantastic shots, though, on these exposed tanks. And they, Captain No Pants on the hill gets spotted here.
And Talad taking some shots against Teremy, and he has taken 2 hits so far. A third hit, about 50 HP right now. And they might be pushing in to try to get the rest of the firepower up against that AMX 5100. He is currently tracked. He does repair his track, though, and does move. Slightly back behind a house here.
On the hill here, Commander J is engaging No Pants, and Silent Demise should have a few shells left. I expect to see No Pants go down here in just a moment. One more hit.
Trying to line it up, and he goes down. Silent Demise gets the kill against the WZ-132. Cunninghams do have slight advantage at this point, but MOPP4 is currently brawling left and right, trying to get those hits against what's left of Cunninghams in the center. Jeremy focusing down. He does get the kill against Stagnate. However, Conflict takes down Taka, and they take down Jeremy. Militant 83, only one left alive in the center in his T69. He is clipping. So's Bachrocker. So's Conflict.
But Militant does get shots up now, and Talad is taking hits as the 1390 Silent Demise and Commander on the hill do have shots now.
Wow. Militant was able to get a critical fire onto Bachrocker. He shouldn't have died. He had over 1,000 hit points. And a T69 does on average like 950. So obviously getting a big, big win out of there. Able to take out a tank when realistically Militant shouldn't have been able to take out anybody and reduce DPM.
He really held his ground, and under that type of pressure, Militant performing very well in the T69, especially with the reload is about 20 seconds. Around that mark. Silent Demise turning the corner. Talad getting hit from Militant. Militant, the VIP, the MVP right now for this battle. Conflict under serious attack, trying to circle through the houses here. He goes down. Militant again with a beautiful kill. 25-2. This is going to be a match victory for the Cunninghams as they find the rest of the T1s, even though they're trying to take down Silent Demise. But him and Commander J get the final kills, and the Cunninghams take it 2-1. On Prokhorovka. That was some great, great play on the T69s. And I have to say as well, that Militant 83 in that position, in that time, that was crucial. And for him to hold down that section was amazing.
Well, there were just not enough shots from their opponents, and that's what it comes down to. But he did get a little lucky on his rolls when obviously he was able to do more than 1,000 damage. Not only would you need high rolls, but you would also need that fire to go on too. So really, really nice for him. I